All right, welcome back. So this is a continuation of the previous video that we were doing on cell functions. So I'm going to be talking about maybe 50 or 60 different functions in Excel that are very handy that you can use when working with Excel. The very first one we talked about was the sum, which we used to calculate the total. We talked about average and few other ones from our notepad here. So we talked about the sum, choose cell, choose column, used to choose a particular range of columns. Okay, so for example, if you want to, let's say you want to select everything from a column, you could come over to a particular table. So you know it's representing a table. Let's say you have for example, you can have A4, and you want to select from A4 to let's say G12, sorry, G12, and then what you could do from there is to put commas, select the maybe the second column, the fourth one, and maybe the fifth one, something like that. Okay, so this command is used to select columns from a large data set. Let's say you have 1000, 2000 data sets, very large data. While something like why this A4 now, okay, is as in from this A4 to G12 is representing the range of data to be copied. You understand? The numbers afterward represent the columns also to be copied. So from this data, from this whole data, copy this column and this column, and it's quite very simple anyways. So it's just like saying from here to here. Okay, so this 1 2 3 4, so copy here, stuff like that, to just copy something like that. So that's what we are dealing with at that point. We'll have average. You just like a mean. The same thing, average means mean. It means like copying. Let's say you want to get the mean of three numbers. You know how to do it. So you can just say from A. Let me use A4 again. A4 to A. Let's say maybe A5, or no, maybe A12 or whatever. So it takes the whole cell. Okay, it takes those cells and columns, the whole data in that particular row, divided by the number of rows. So mean is like a summation f of s, or the, all over the number of s. Okay, so something like that. So that's how it is. Okay, we have if statement. You can also check the previous video. You see most of these things. We have add conjunction. VLOOKUP is actually used in Excel. It looks for the value of a particular number in the first column of a table, and then returns the corresponding value from from that particular column. For example, if I should say VLOOKUP of let's say in this table I want to look up for anywhere that maybe 11 appeared on the table. You understand? So what I can do is to select. Let's say I want to select maybe here, and I can do a VLOOKUP on that. And then let's say I want to put the answer here, so I can say VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, if I can type that. Okay, and I can open parentheses. Make sure you put equal to sign. Forgot that. So VLOOKUP. So what is that? If you look at here, see the first thing is the lookup value. So let's say we're looking for 11, right? So we'll put comma there. The next is the table, the array of the table that we want to look out for. So I want to look off for from here to here. So that's what I want to look up for. And then the column index is the index of the column that I want to look up for. So I don't actually know the index of, let's say, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So it's actually 11. Let's say that's the index of the column, and then we'll just put false. What we're doing in the false is simply to kind of tell it to just look for within this range, right? So yeah, true approximates, that's matches. Okay, approximate match. While false means I want it to be like look for exact. Let it look for exact number I'm looking for. So if it's 11, let it just be 11. But approximate match if set true would mean that I could go for something close to 11, but of course I'm going for false. So let's do that. Can I get my cursor? Okay, yeah, I have my cursor, so I'll just say false, and then that's what I want to do. So it says no references, but then I need to do this. Is it drag it down or something? Not a number at some point, then no reference or whatever. Okay, so but then that's how it works. Okay, that's how it works. So we just have to look for those particular number there, and then we can just make use of them, right? So that's what we're doing. Okay, so we also have the h lookup, pretty much the same thing, for example, but this one looks for um like names, like string, you understand, in the first row, and returns the value in the maybe third row, or of the range of that particular number. For example, let's say I'm looking for a particular person, a particular name in this place. So this is b, let's say from b4 to b18. Okay, so we can do that, the same thing, the same code, just say h lookup, so equal to h lookup. Okay, so what we can do here is we just put the string we are looking for. Let's say we're looking for Abel, and then what we want to do is to come over here, and let's say we're looking for it in b, I think that was b4. Okay, b4 to b18, I think, yeah, b18. Okay, so that's what we're looking for, the data, and I want to look for that should be the second row, yeah, the second row. And then what we want to do is to actually add true, because we want to look for either that or approximately that. Okay, even if it's not exact, but that's what we're looking for. Okay, so if we do that, we get not a number even though the code is right. Okay, so just do that for all of that, and then we'll have that same result, which doesn't make sense to me, but that is what it is, right? So but then in a good example, that's just the code, but in a good example you might just have to use it for that. And a good example will be in a large data set, and I might actually use this in when I'm writing a little bit of program. We're going to be writing some programs at the end of the course. Okay, so we have index. Okay, let me just write these things down. Okay, so we have do I have to number it? We have the h lookup, we have the index. So the index, what it does is simple. It actually returns the value in the searching row, that row they are searching for, and then also in the particular column that you're looking for. Let's say which example will I use now? Okay, let's say you want to search from this b12. Okay, let's say b4. I want to search all the way to b12, and what you want to search for is maybe you want to search between the fourth row, um sorry, this should be b12 to, let's say, maybe e a b c d. Okay, let's say maybe d4. Okay, and then I'm looking for the in the this column, so I can look for it in 4 and to 2. Okay, so I want to look for it in the fourth row and in the second column, right? So I can do that, and then I should be able to return the value that is in that particular place. We also have the match. Of course, some of these ones are quite simple. So match, what we do with match is simple. We just match the data there. Remember to add equal to here. So we have equal to, equal to, equal to. So we have match, we have left. I'm not gonna be doing all of them, so I'll just do some of them that are quite interesting. So we have left. So what left does is that it returns the letter in in a particular row. Oh, let me just show you. Let's say here, I'll just put left here. That's not what it is. I'll just come over here and say, let's say this table, I want this B, this B, yeah, okay. So let's say I want to return all the table from or the last two letters of all the elements in this B column. So what I can do is to come over here and say equal to left. Then I can open my parentheses, and what I want to do is, that was a mistake, so what I want to do is to put the test, you see. So I put the test I want to look for, and then the number of matching characters. So let me say I want to look for let me look for Abel, okay, and it has to be in quotes, sorry. Let me write it in small letter, and then that's not really how you work, but I'm just trying to put it together. So let me say 4 here, press enter. Okay, it returns this name, right? But then you can actually look for this in a particular cell. For example, I have that B1, so I can look for it in in let's say B1, yeah, or B4 actually. So it returns the same thing, you see. Check it out, it returns the same thing, that the last 4 characters. If I say I wanted to return, maybe let's say maybe 2 characters or so, you see it returns AB. So this can be handy if you want to return abbreviation of these names. You can even do it such that you can return abbreviation 1 letter here and 1 letter here, okay. So you can do that, return 1 letter here and 1 letter here. So this will be AC, this one will be EC, this one, you know, we can do something like that, but on your own, you just write it. But I'm going to write a program. By the time I'm done explaining all of them, I'll just write a simple program for the most important ones. So if I drag this down, of course, it's going to do for the remaining cells. Okay, so if you check very well, notice that this one is favor, so it gets FA, this is Prince PR, and so on. And you can also convert this into capital letter. Anyway, we're coming from for that. So as much as we have left, well, of course we also have right. So right does opposite of left. Now, you know, so just the other way round of it. Okay, return the last letters from the right. Okay. If I have well, let me just do the example. So if I say right here, okay, and then open parentheses, we don't want that. Open parentheses. Let me say I want to get. Let me just use an example here. That's not how I'm supposed to do, but let me just do an example here. Let me say I have calculator. Okay, calculator, and I want to get the last 3 digits. So I've put 3 and press enter. I'll get TOR, because TOR is the last 3 digits of calculator from here, from here, you see. So we can do that. So if I want to still do it for the, okay, this one, let's do it for the second, there's B, that's C, okay, that should be C4, yeah, C4. So those is C4, and if we press enter, you get the last 3 digits of C4. So if we go back here, you see this is Edu, so that's the last C4, so AB Edu. So we can do that. If we drag it down, it's going to do it for the rest of all the cells. This one is joy, this one is, and you know, and other things there. So that is how we can do that. So in our list, we'll add right, and many other ones, there are a lot of them, I can't even begin to explain all of them, so I'm going to just list them, then explain the most important ones. So the next one I want to look at is length. If you are a programmer, you already know what this one does. So we have length. This one calculates the number of characters in a particular cell, right? It will return, if you just like in programming in JavaScript, to use length in Python. This, I think we use it exactly like, almost exactly like this in Python and some other programming language. So length, it returns the length of characters in that particular cell. So the next one we have is stream. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing all of them. they are quite very simple. If you do length, for example, should I do that? Okay, just put equal to length, and then put type anything. Let's say test. Let's remove that. Let's say I want to type a test. I'll just do for this one. So if I type any number of characters, press enter, it's going to tell me the number of characters I just typed. That's what we're saying. Okay, so it's not much a deal. Okay, so I'll just leave it there as that. Okay, so let's go back. I'll just finish up quickly. So we have length, we have trim removes white spaces. Okay, this removes white spaces or extra spaces on let's write it properly. It removes white spaces, removes white spaces. All right, so let's move on. The next one we have is proper. We'll call it proper. I think I should just use this one. I just try. Proper is simply used to this proper. We simply use it to convert text into the proper case. Okay, like the first letter should be capitalized and stuff like that. And I think I should just do an example of that. Come over here. Let's just use this as a test ground. Okay, so if I come over here and say equal to proper, and that is it here. I don't know why I can't do that. So proper, and what I want to do in proper is simply to type a test. So inside here I can type test in small letter. I can say church, and then if I press enter, you see it's actually written with capital letter. Check here, you see this is written in small letter, but here it's actually written properly in capital letter. And let's use it for our test. So all these tests we can wrap them in proper, and then they will all be written properly. So let me show you how we can do that. From here I'll just come over here and say let's do it under here. So I'll just say proper, and then under here I can say equal to proper, and what I want to do is to yeah, that should be B. I could forget B. Yeah, B for that, and that's it. And now it's written properly. And if I drag it down, every other one is written like that too. Alright, that's proper. Let's look at some other ones. We have the next one, which is concat. If you're familiar with programming, you also know that concatenating is to add two rows or two letters together. Let me quickly do that too. Let's say from this table, so since we have let's look at this. Since we have first name and last name, let's say we want to join it together and it becomes full name. So I can come over here. By the way, let me just highlight this to this point. By the way, I was using shift key to do that. So let me call this full name. So to get the full name, all I need to do is, let's say you can wrap several results together. Let me show you. So I'm going to wrap like 3 of them. There is not yet time to do that, but let me just do this. So I can say equal to, of course, start with concat. So I've started with another one, but let's start with concat first. Let's start with that. So concat, and yeah, you see, look at what it brought out, concatenation. So concatenate. So what I want to do is to join the two tests together. So I want to join b4. So I want to join b4, and I want to join them with space, just empty space. So space. If you want to join them with anything, you can just specify with that thing, and it will be used to join them. And then the second test I want to join together is c4. Yeah. So we can just close the parentheses and press enter. Notice that here it have joined the first cell and the second cell together. So if we go over here now, see that it's joining this one and this one together. So it can be handy. Then I'll show you a few other things we can do. Let's move over here. So here, if I click here and of course run my function here, see that it's doing the same for every one of them. Now if you recall, this we can make this in capital letter, right? So it to be proper. Why? We can do that. So let me take the first one alone. I'm going to cut it, Control X. I'm going to write proper. I'm going to open parentheses, close parentheses. Inside that, I want to paste that command I just removed, and I want to run that command. And now you see that they are now in capital letter. And if I drag it down again, all the way down here, you see that they are all now in capital letters. So you can wrap around functions like this. What else do you think we can do? Okay, we can add trim if we want to remove white spaces, and a few other things that we can do. Now there's a few other things we can do. One other one is using the test function. So for the test function, what I want to do is to let's say test. So for example, if you want to format today's date, okay, in a particular order, in a particular way. Okay, let me just do that. I don't know, I'm almost doing all of them. I didn't plan doing them, I just wanted to, so this video will not be too long. So but then what can I do? So just remove that. So let's say I want to get today's date. So if I want to get today, I'll just say today. So today will give me today's date. Yeah. So if I put comma there, I will not put the format I want today's date to be written. I can put it in quotes. I'll say the first thing I want is the date, and the second thing I want is the month, and the third thing I want is the year, and I want the year in full, so I'll just write in the year in full. And if I press enter, I'll get today's date, which is 25th January 2025. Excuse me. Right, so you can get today's date. You can even get now, like right now, both date and time and everything they want. So just put equal to now. That one is very simple, and then press enter and you get both date and time and everything, right? So this is just the time right here. Okay, so you can do a lot with that, anyone. Okay, let me just write those two down. So have which what was the first one? I think the first one was, yeah, test. So the first one was test. I almost forgot. Okay, and then the second one we did now was now. So all right, so we're already up 20. Okay, so let me see how far I can just get to with this. So we'll have a few. Let's look at statistical ones. So we have a round, which I think what we can do is to return the value of you can round numbers. You can round, sum up numbers to a decimal place. Let me see if I can sorry, illustrate that. So these averages, okay, let's say we want them to, yeah, I think that's cool. So let's say these averages we want them to be in this two decimal places, all of them. Some are not in decimal places, some are. So you can do that to ramp it up in a particular decimal, or even remove the decimal places, right? We can remove that, or just say one decimal place. Which one should we do? I don't know. Okay, so what I can do is, let me just do it. I don't want to mess up with our data, so let's do it from here. I'll just push this a little bit. I think these ones are a little bit small, so I'm going to zoom in and increase the font here. Yeah, so much better. All right, so let's say I want to return those averages, so I can say average. return. That doesn't really mean anything, but I just wanted to do it. So from here, so let's remind ourselves, average is actually, which set is that? That's a Q4. Okay, that's Q4 here, right here, Q4. So that's what I want to wonk it. So let's do that. So common over here, can say equal to round. So can say round, want to round the numbers, and those numbers we want to round is actually in Q4. So Q4, so comma, and then the number of digits we want. Let's say we don't want, okay, let's say one digit. So if we press enter to give us the first one is 83. It's of 83 point what again? It's 83.25. Okay, it will sum it up, approximate this 5 to extra 1 and add it to the 2 in decimal place. So if I run this down, you see that it's going to return all the scores with 1 decimal place. Okay, that's what we have there. All right, so instead of 2, they are now 1 decimal place. So that's what rand can do. Let's look at one more. Which one now? Let's look at counts. Okay, what, of course, that's actually simple. We use count numbers, as you might guess. Let me just move on. Okay, now we have count A. Okay, count A. Now the difference is simple. Count, it counts the number of numerical entries in a particular range. Okay, we use to count numbers in a particular range. Let's say from B4, okay, to, let's say you want to count from B4 to B, that thing is 18, right? Yeah, 18. Okay, it's going to give you the numbers, whereas while count A does the same thing, but then it counts the number of empty cells, okay, in the range. So whether it's empty or not, this is going to count it. Why this doesn't count the empty ones? I don't know if it makes sense. Okay, so we also have the count if you might guess. I think just look at the documentation. Okay, you might say we have count if. Can see count if. Then you have the count with a condition. So you can be counting. Let me just copy this very quick. So you can be counting with a condition. Just let's put this Command C, Control C. So if you paste it there, and what we can do is just to put some kind of comparison operator. So I can say at all places that is greater than 80. So all the port that has more than 80 just count. So this is the condition. If it's greater than 80, count. So can have all the people. We want to know how many people that pass this course and stuff like that. Blah blah blah. Can do that. So I have 23. Let me try get it up to 30. Okay. So and then what we have here is we can have subtotal. Okay. We can have subtotal. Want to get total of something, so we can quickly do it from here, and it's also very simple. You just have to calculate let's say the subtotal of a range using a particular function, maybe sum or something. Okay, you can do that from there. We'll have to check if it's error. We'll have 24. So on your own, just put the command, try it out the same way I'm doing them, and you see you get your results. So we'll have its error, so you can check if there is error in a particular range. For example, let's say B4, okay, slash, let's say maybe C4, okay, that kind of a thing. You can check if there's error, maybe division or something like that, and so on. Okay, so you can also return the absolute value of something. Let me just remember that. So you can return the absolute value of something. For example, you can say ABS to return the absolute value of a particular thing. Let's say I want to return the absolute value of I'm not going to do that anymore. I just want to show you. So absolute value of this, absolute value, you know what I mean by absolute value? That's like without decimal points and all that. So you can actually do that real quick. All right, so we also have mode. So these are statistical tools. So we have mode. This one is mode. The same thing equal to mode. Of course, if you're a statistics student, you already know what mode does. It returns the remainder of the numbers divided by a particular number. So that is what it does. Okay, it will return, let's say we are dividing numbers by 3 or by 2 or by something, so it will return the remainders of all those numbers. That's modulus now, you know modulus. Okay, is connected by the sign, this sign. Yeah, so if you say 5 divided by 2, okay, it will be equal to 1. That's what we are saying. Okay, so if you're already a programmer, you know this, or a mathematics or statistics student, you already know what this is. That's modulus for you. Okay, so let's move on. I mean, you can do that. It's quite very simple. Okay, so no, let's look at we have the one in statistics, that's principal image principle for calculating financial um stuff. Okay, like principal time and rate and stuff like that. So you can get the rate of something. Let's say you want to get 10% rate of 1,000 naira or $1,000 or stuff like that. So you can do that. And the very interesting too, you can generate random numbers too. Yeah, you can generate just like in programming, you can generate random numbers by rand. I think in Python it's also rand, so you can do that. And I just want to get it up to 30. So let me see. And this random number I can use for many things, like even generating passport, want OTP. Okay, you can OTP, and in fact you can generate number between a particular range. Let me do this. Okay, you can generate numbers between a particular range. So you can say run between. Okay, you can say run between. Let's say between. No, you can say between 1 and 100. Let's do that, between 1 and 100. So it's going to generate another numbers between 1 and 100. Okay, and for you, and so on. Okay, you can do that. You can also search between those, between your work, and then some of this search you have to do it using can I write search? I don't know if it's correct. Okay, so we have let me just quickly do that now that I remember. We have a developer tool here. I think you can enable it from somewhere. I can't remember, from accounts. There's a place you have to go for. I've done it before a couple of times, but I think I have lost it. But you can enable developer mode, which will give you more options, more menu. Mode. Somewhere here you can enable developer mode. I'm trying to see if I can find advanced. Let's see. That will give you more menu, more options to do. Maybe I will look for it and get it. Maybe in the next video I will put it up. I'll put it up. It can be very interesting too. It can be very interesting. So, but then I can't find it right now. Can't find it right now. So that is it. We'll move on. We have a transpose. You can transpose that's like a matrix. You can transpose and a few other things. I think these are some of the most important ones that you can easily come across by. You can filter, just like you can filter. You can sort. You can stuff like that. You can also mark a field as unique if you want to. These are some of the things you can do. You can mark it as unique and so on. Okay, so did I mention sort? Yeah, after filter you can sort, or maybe let me just quickly add them up. So all these ones are quite simple. It's something that even on your own you can do them and see what they give you. And there's one thing you need to understand about this command. They are already pre-keyed into the system. Let me show you an example. For search, if I want to use search, if I click here and put equal to search, you see it pops out. And by the time I open the first parenthesis, it's telling me the test I'm supposed to find. Which test am I supposed to find? So if I put quote here, oh, okay, if I put quote there, I'm going to search for, let's say I'm searching for tests like Abel, right? So I put comma there, and they say within test, which where am I supposed to look for this? It's actually like directing you, and then it asks you for the start number. You understand? So it's quite very easy for you to work with, because already the command is there. Okay, and we have a few other commands, but I'm going to just type them out and then um or list them out or something, and then, or you can just google them. Okay, you have is the number, is even numbers, is odd numbers, is unique, we have s lookup, we have a forecast, we have a fair value, and a few other ones, we have a lot of them that you can just come up with. We even have, you will have did I mention? And yeah, we have end. We have end here, right here. Okay, so just like we have end, we also have or. These are, so we have or. Okay, of course, as you might think, we'll have not and so on. In all those logic families, we have all of them, or logic statements. Okay, so that is what it is. Okay, we have clean, we have seal, we have floor, we have pi, we have square roots, we have power, we have a few number of them. So what I'll do is, let me just write some of them out. Okay, it's already long, but let me just write some of them out, and I will be right back. So feel free to go through these commands, okay, and try them out on your own and see what you can get. And if you have any question, just reach out to me, and I will always reply you as soon as I can. Do take care and make sure you practice, because practice makes perfect. See you in the next one. Bye.